Are we recording? Okay, cool.
And lighters that I feel for people. You done proved all
No?
that.
Okay. Need one?
So, my name is London Scott. I am a high school graduate. Just graduated last week. I'll be 18 in 3 weeks. And my race is black and whatever else I'm mixed with. I have no idea. So I think the first time I realized I was black was in 5th grade. My principal at the time, she was black, and the entire class, we didn't do Sagana tests. She told us that they wanted to see us fail as a black class with all white teachers. It honestly kind of stuck with me. She even used the N-word with a heavy R. She's like, they think of you as a bunch of N-words, and it was just weird to hear that as a child coming from a grown adult.
You okay, sis?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Someone once said that we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. So my middle name is Destiny, and the reason why I want to write Destiny's speech is to kind of give a perspective of what it's like to live in America from a teenage point of view who also happens to be black and a female. But it's definitely not easy because one, I am still young. I just graduated high school, and people in today's society, they don't think that people my age deserves a voice, and that's where it hits home. Hi, and welcome back to another day of Societal Issues. Today we have the head of education saying that kids are allowed to go back to school this fall. However, there is a good chance that 0.02% will die from coronavirus. Now, I'm not sure if that means students or faculty and staff and students. Either way, that's 14,000 people, and one person is way too much. And the Trump administration even said that if schools don't open back up by November, they're going to completely cut funding for schools. How does that make sense? But we're the future, right? This has been another day of Societal Issues. Thank you for your time. I'll be 18 in 3 weeks from me shooting this. When COVID started back in 2020, it definitely was not an easy time. I mean, even my mother saw that I was getting depressed because not even my mother has lived through a pandemic before. And what turned out to be just an extra 2 weeks on spring break turned out to be the rest of the school year and possibly even the next school year. And I was a junior when all of this started, so I had no idea how my senior year was going to start. And I just got really depressed. I wouldn't leave my room. I barely talked to people. I barely wanted to eat. And it wasn't okay. And that was even the half of what I went through in 2020. Or what anyone went through in 2020. I lost friends, and I realized that not everyone's who they seem to be. And then we had the protests with Black Lives Matter, and then I realized, wow, this is real. Like, I've been shielded from all this stuff for so long, and now that I'm getting older and opening my eyes, I truly see that this world isn't what I thought it was. Because when you're young, the world seems like cotton candy fields and rainbows. And then as you get older, you see it for what it really is, black and white. I always had problems making friends. Not gonna lie, especially in elementary and middle school. And I thought when I got to high school, that would change, which technically it did. But looking back now, they weren't really friends. Because, friends, they do almost everything together. And I had maybe 1 or 2 of those. And now I don't, if that makes sense. I've always kind of been okay with just rolling by myself. But now, looking back, I should have just kind of stayed by myself, because there's a lot of things that end up showing up in high school that, influence a lot of people that I was close with, and I went right and they went left, and we're not on the same path anymore. And we were for a really long time. We were doing good, and then we just separated. And I think that's what sucks. That's what sucks. There's so many women out there who have been sexually harassed just because that she's a woman, you know? And coming from experience, I have been catcalled and harassed a lot. One time, I was working downtown Cleveland. I was going down there to catch the train to my job. And I was wearing flip-flops this day, and I was going to change into my work shoes when I got to my job. This 50, 60-year-old man, I'm 16 at the time, this 50, 60-year-old man comes up to me, he's like, I like your feet, and just stood there and just kept staring at me. Another time, again, I was coming home from work this time, still had to go through downtown Cleveland. A guy clearly way into his maybe late 20s comes up to me, asks for my number. I say no, I have a boyfriend. I didn't, but you know, it's kind of like that. You don't know how they're gonna react, so you have to lie and stuff. You know, try to nicely reject them. He kept pressing, and I'm just like, how old are you? He was like, he hesitated, and then he said he's 18. Clearly not. Works at Burger King. And she's like, yeah, I'm 16. He was like, age ain't nothing but a number. Jail ain't nothing but a room. And cousin ain't nothing but a word. Those were his exact words to me as he was walking away. In what world is that okay to say? 1, say it all. 2, to say to a woman. And 3, to say to a minor. That's not okay. And there are so many times where, like, a woman will be scared to say something to let the guy know, like, yo, I'm not interested. Because we don't know how the man will react. It was a time where I was coming home. I was catching the bus home. I had just turned 16. Like, maybe 2 weeks after I turned 16. And this man, maybe same age as my brother. 30, 32, 33. Comes up to me. I'm like, hey, yeah, sorry, not interested. You're a grown man. I just turned 16. Not interested. He says, okay, walks away for a second. And then comes back, keeps trying to make conversation with me. Then invites me to go to a wrestling game with him. She's like, I'll come pick you up and stuff, and we can go there. Then we go on the bus, sits right next to me. The bus was crowded at the time. And proceeds to take my phone, put his number in it, and then text my number to make sure that it wasn't, you know, like fake or anything. That was the most uncomfortable I have ever been. And I didn't know how this man was going to react. So I couldn't just be like, you know, bag up, leave me alone and stuff. So I tried to play it off. And the moment I got off the bus, I instantly, you know, removed his number, blocked it and everything. And
Hey. Hey. Police. No.
We here.
I have no idea where I'm going with this. It's one thing shooting a video or typing out a document and sharing on social media for your friends and family to read, but it's completely different when you actually have something to say and you want to say it, you just don't know how. Because everything that I've seen and everything that I wrote, I have so much to say, and I have the opportunity to say it, and I just don't know how anymore. I had a whole idea of how I wanted this video to go, and it's like I'm tongue-tied now. Like, an entire book of poems since I was 16. And now I have no clue what I want to say. You know how angry you have to be to completely lose the words that you want to say? I mean, that's a different type of pain. All the things I've been building up that I've been wanting to say, and I have the opportunity to say it now, and I can't. I have lost so many people that I considered friends over the past year. Because I didn't realize how ignorant, homophobic, racist, and sexist that they were. They would get very pressed over the issue of not being able to call me the N-word. And then when I corrected them about it and tried to educate them, then I'm a libtard. When I point out that asking me to touch my hair is racist, or telling me that I talk white or I'm pretty for a black girl is racist, I am in the wrong. When I tell them that this country is not red, white, and blue, that it's stolen, and that it was literally built with blood, sweat, and tears of my ancestors, that my people are angry and tired of seeing other people like them be killed in the streets and just left there and walked over. That my people are tired of burying their kids before they even got a chance to graduate high school. When I speak out on stuff like that, I'm in the wrong. I don't deserve to be here. Or if I don't like it here, I have a way to leave. And that's what I question about my ancestors. When slavery was over, why didn't we get on the ships that we built and go back home? Why did we stay here? They clearly don't want us over here if they can't use us. So why did we stay here? And that's one thing I really want to do before I die. I want to go home. I want to take my family home. This place isn't home. They hate us here. They really do. I was on Twitter earlier, and I saw that the vice president was trending. And I wanted to see what she was trending about, because, I look up to her. She's black and a person of color, and she's the vice president of the whole country. And she had tweeted, enjoy the long weekend, because it's Memorial Day weekend, and, we get 3 days off. And everyone was just saying how disrespectful it was, because she didn't even mention that was Memorial Day, and that they hated they had a black lady as president, and that they wished that she would die, or that she was out of office and stuff. And I'm just like, you guys are mad because she said enjoy the long weekend after she already gave a giant speech about Memorial Day and to the vets. But you guys aren't mad when your other president called them losers and suckers. Why didn't we go home? I should have went home. And I've been seeing people my age, girls my age, get killed by police recently. Am I next? Is my brother next? My sister? My nieces? Nephews? Are we next? The same girl that called for help because she was being attacked was the same girl that was killed by her help. I'm scared to even go walking by myself with a hoodie. I'm scared to drive. I'm scared to go to a store just to buy Skittles. I'm scared to play with fake guns. I'm scared to even sleep in my own home. How can you live in a world or they're okay with killing children. They don't get to graduate. I'm lucky I did. They don't get to get married or go to college and have kids. But I get the chance to, and how are you okay with this? There's no way you could possibly be okay with this. If you're a decent human being, you cannot be okay with this. And for God's sake, stop saying blue lives matter. Blue lives doesn't freaking exist. It is a job. They choose to be a cop. I don't choose to be born like this. But for the love of God, how happy I am. I wouldn't change my skin color for nothing. I wouldn't change my hair for nothing. I wouldn't change my history for nothing. Because this is who I am. This is who God wanted me to be. So you can kill my flesh and bones, but you can't kill my spirit, my faith, my history. You can kill my brothers and sisters, but you can't kill our spirit. And I promise you, you might be listening, but you don't hear me. So until you hear me, until you hear us, we're going to continue to burn down a country that our ancestors built through blood, sweat, and tears. Until you hear us. Because listening and hearing us is two different things. And to the allies out there, you've been real quiet lately. And it's still going on. It hasn't stopped. Destiny's speech. Because in the end, we will be heard. We will be heard. I graduated. I made it. To the families out there who doesn't get to see their kids graduate, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I stand with you, and I promise you we will be heard one way or another. It's gonna happen. Change is gonna happen. We have to stay together. We can't keep degrading each other. Black men, stick with your black women. Black women, stick with your black men. Uplift each other. Don't bring each other down, because in the end, we all we got. We need to stay hand to hand. Because in this country, they hate us. So we do not need to be hating on each other. Because if we do that, there won't be any more of this. High school or college. We need to stand together.